Hello everyone. A few days back, I had a 14-year-old child who came holding his mother's hand to my OPD. He was obese but otherwise looked quite bright, comfortable. But when I saw his reports, I was shocked. My heart sank. The reports were suggestive of type 2 diabetes mellitus. And the mother told me, "Sir, there is no problem I see in him. And he doesn't eat much food. He just takes chips, biscuits, cold drinks, and noodles, what most of the kids and adolescents like these days." Mind the words, what most of the kids and adolescents like these days. Today's talk is regarding that, the junk food, the nutritionally inappropriate food. Friends, I am Dr. Prince Parakh, a senior consultant pediatrician and the chairman of NICU and PICU and director at Pample Hospital. As a pediatrician, my advocacy is for child health, child rights. And previously, I would just say cough, cold, diarrhea, vomiting, fever. But I was not tuned to see diabetes. I was not tuned to see obesities. Previously, when we say malnutrition, it was more of undernutrition. But presently, 1 in 5 child is obese or overweight. As a pediatrician, I have now to see metabolic problems, problems pertaining to thyroid, hypertension, and many more. But in this child, was it his fate? Was it genetics? No. The mother said grandfather, grandparents, they don't have diabetes. The mother, the father, they don't have diabetes. So it was basically the food. So in this audience, I will ask the kids, the children, to raise their hands if they like chips, chocolates, cold drinks, pizzas, burgers. Do you like it? So I'm seeing almost most of the hands being up. So friends, the children, it is not your problem. In today's world, the brain is being wired. You the ecosystem is created in such a way that you love these food. So the problem is not with the children. At the onset, we need to understand the problem. These junk food, they are rich in sugars, they are rich in salt, they have more of trans fat. And 1 in 5 child that I see today is either overweight or obese. When you take junk food, your risk of having non-communicable diseases, chronic diseases rises by 2 to 3 times. And 70% of these packed food are full of sugars, salt, and inappropriate things like trans fat or maybe more of caffeine. So where lies the problem? Again, the problem is not with the kids, the problem is with the environment, the ecosystem that has been created. We need to understand some science that when you give so much sugar to your child, one glass of a cold drink contains 6 to 7 teaspoons of sugar. This sugar, when you take a caffeinated or a highly sugarated drink, your sugar suddenly spikes. You feel that yes, you are getting energy, but again, there is a sharp decline. The addiction to such cold drinks would be like nicotine. And yes, we need to understand that this causes diabetes, this causes obesity, but more of such cold drinks or sugarated drinks causes a problem with concentration. So you would find most of the kids particularly the adolescents, there will be a lot of problem with the mood. Why? Because sugar is addiction, no less than nicotine. The problem with salt, what happens? You're consuming 2 to 3 times of the prescribed dose. For adolescent or adult, the dose should not be crossing 5 grams per day, but you are taking almost 2 to 3 times. So your taste buds are getting tuned to it, and you don't like fruits or vegetables. You don't like salads then. So basically, there is a problem again with trans fat, with the amount of unsaturated or saturated fatty acids. And of course, with these food, the problem that again happens is in young age, I see lot of kids developing clogged arteries. There is more of inflammation in the body, which leads to such problems. What is the solution? When I talk about solution, the solution has to be at multiple levels. The parents, the teachers, and the regulatory authorities. As a pediatrician, I always believe that, good health comes with good food, and junk food is one of the biggest barriers to good food. Once you give junk food, your child doesn't actually do well in long run, I'm telling you. They will not be able to reach their maximum potential. So what parents need to do? Parents generally, for their convenience, they would give a packet of chips as a reward. Friends, junk food should never be given as a reward. Mind it. Junk food can never be given as a reward. It is very easy to give. Parents, they are tired. They are busy in their lives. And when the child sees these junk food, these packets, he thinks this is love, this is safe. But friends, they are not tuned to know what is good for them, what is bad for them. So we have to forget our inconvenience, and we need to give them something which is healthy, to which I will come to. Then the issue is, teachers. Teachers are not just those who give training, but they will help in habit formation. They are trainers for life. In school, also, we want that the tiffins should be healthy and should be monitored by the school. The school canteen shouldn't be giving any junk food or sugarated drinks. And again, it should be monitored properly. The authorities need to see that there is a high pressure marketing of junk food. The junk food high pressure marketing needs to stop, because the more the high pressure marketing, may it be the print media, the paper media, the digital media, it is causing a huge increase in the amount of junk food that is being taken. So the authorities need to put a ban. When there is a restriction in alcohol or cigarettes, there can be a restriction onto the consumption of junk foods, which is again very, very important. In the area around the schools, if you limit the sale of junk food, the obesity would go down. So it is the authorities need to make sure that is traffic labeling, coding in bold letters about the problems of junk, as we find in cigarette packets. Similarly, it is important that high pressure marketing should be stopped. So when at three levels, the parents, the teachers, and the school, there is intervention, the regulatory authorities, they will take intervention, this problem will gradually go down. But again, you need to understand about the consumption of caffeinated drinks. How much amount of coffee is permissible per day? Caffeine. For adolescents and adults, not more than 200 milligrams per day. It is roughly 2.5 to 3 milligrams per day of caffeine that you can consume. I get a lot of kids as a pediatrician who come with palpitation and problem with sleep disorder. And mostly what do I find? I see that they take a lot of tea, a lot of coffee, and that is what is causing the problem. So this needs to be very well addressed, that there is a limit to how much caffeine you can give. Between 5 to 10 years, 100 ml of tea or coffee is the maximum limit. Between 10 to 18 years, 200 ml of coffee or tea is the maximum that can be offered. Same is applicable, if you talk about fruit juices. Many parents, they would just give juices and they will be very happy. Mothers are very happy. They would give juices and think that yes, this drink is very good, but it is also giving you high sugars. So friends, the important message is that water is the best drink. To all the mothers, to all the parents here, to all the kids, I would tell, what is the best drink? Water is the best drink. Water is life. These problems, when we come across, we need to understand that once we have solution to not giving junk food, what should be given? It is all over the world, the concept is home-based food, nutritionally appropriate food, more of vegetables and fruits is what is the concept globally. But at the same time, you should be looking at the nutrient value. As parents, I would tell you, to all the children, to all the parents and teachers, an important thing that has to be noted is the food should be culturally acceptable, should be easily cookable, but it should not be containing more of sugars or salt. Food is what will give you good health. Food is the best medicine. So basically, with this food, when we talk about it should be iron enriched. In India, most of the kids are suffering from iron deficiency anemia. And supplementing iron would not just help in taking care of this anemia. Supplementing iron is something that will help in increasing the IQ of your child. So one of the important mantra that I want to give you today is supplementing iron or giving iron rich food. And you all know that, green leafy vegetables, jaggeries, legumes, cereals, nuts, they are rich in iron. There are a lot of essential nutrients. We don't call micro or macronutrients nowadays because every nutrient is essential. So we can talk about zinc, which is very, very important. Vitamin D3, you need sunshine, but again, the dairies, the poultries, the nuts, they are again very important rich sources. Another thing that I would say that, you see, the source should be healthy and it should be freshly prepared. Now, when next time you are giving junk food to your child, you should be just asking one question: am I giving bad health in the form of a packet? So we should stop giving bad health in the form of junks. What we should be doing is trying to give life in food. Life, good health in terms of by giving good food to the kids. And with good food, within weeks, when you start giving healthy snacks, you will see there is a rise in energy, there is a rise in confidence of the child, there is a significant rise in the health of the child in every aspect. The brain will be sharper, the heart will be stronger, and the child will have a brighter future. So I want all the parents, all the kids to take a pledge with me that I will minimize the consumption of junk food. I request you all to take a pledge. I will minimize the use of junk food in my family. That is very, very important. And I would also say that, and end my talk by just letting you ask one question. Tomorrow, when your kids grow up, should they be thinking that my parents, for their convenience, gave us something which was unhealthy? Or they took all the inconvenience, they took all the pain to take care of my future and give me healthy food? As a pediatrician, I believe maximum potential your child is going to achieve if you can remove junk food from their food, and the future would be bright. Thank you.